Let's make sour cream and use it as a topping over a Latin dish that we put together with various ingredients. In a restaurant, you come up with various ingredients that you can combine in other dishes. You may make part of this recipe today, you may make part of these components today, you may make the whole thing and put it together.
Join me, Steve Bryce, as I guide you through what I learned, tips, techniques, tricks, as well as mistakes over the years as I explored plant-based eating in my transition from being a meat eater, working in the meat industry, to becoming a vegan chef and running 2 restaurants.
So we'll begin by using the food processor to grate some carrots. I've peeled and just made the carrots small enough to actually go through the food processor. If you don't have a food processor, yeah, a box grater or any grater works. And I'm going to go ahead and use the grating function of the food processor to make the slaw. You could also use the slicing function too, or you could knife cut the slaw too if you don't have a food processor. Don't let that be a barrier for you. I also used some Napa cabbage that I had left over for the slaw, which is, different. You can use head cabbage. I zested a lime and then also juiced the lime and added it, a little bit of salt. And then some chilies that I had toasted in the microwave and then ground in the spice blender. We'll add some scallions, some scallion tops. These are actually from the garden. They're green onions that got a little bit not tender, but that's okay. It'll work in the slaw. And then some cilantro. You can choose to leave that out if you don't like cilantro. And then we'll mix that together, and then we can set that aside. We're going to roast some corn, so I just had some frozen corn that I thawed and add a little bit of olive oil and some salt. We'll put that in the air fryer. And then we're going to make the sour cream. We'll begin by just taking water and some rice flour, and then we'll heat that until it thickens, and we use that as the base for the sour cream. I like using that because not only is it more cost effective, because cashews can be expensive, but it provides a thickening without all the fat that the cashews bring in. And then we'll add some rice wine vinegar, some apple cider vinegar, and then some lemon juice, just to provide that tart acidity that you normally find in sour cream. Some nutritional yeast, a little bit of garlic powder and salt. And then we'll just use enough water to bring that up to blend the cashews. And then we'll blend that cashew mixture. And then add that to the thickened rice flour that we just took off the burner. And then we can mix that together. And then taste. We want to make sure that we've got the sourness and the saltiness that we would like in our sour cream. Transfer that to a container and put it in the refrigerator. Next, we'll begin by cutting some onions and adding those to a pan with just a little bit of olive oil. On the onions, I'm going to use some bottoms of those green onions or scallions that we had, and then saute those in a little bit of olive oil. You could choose to water saute if you wanted to, in other words, not use any oil, but either way, it's your choice. And then I had some roasted garlic in the freezer. I'm going to add that and just bring in some roasted garlic flavor. A little bit of tomato paste just to add some depth and flavor. And we're going to saute that tomato paste, kind of watching it so it doesn't stick down too much. And you could choose to add a little bit more water. I didn't to this just to make it saucier, but we'll add some smoked paprika and a little bit of cumin, and then some lentils that I had cooked earlier. These are green lentils. You could use black lentils, French lentils, whatever lentils you have or can find. And then the roasted corn from the air fryer. We'll add some peppers. You could use any color or whatever you have as far as peppers go, just to add some color, a little bit of texture to it. Some more of those green onion tops or scallion tops. and then some black beans that I had cooked. You could use canned as well. And mix that together. And then I'm adding some Lozano condiment, kind of typical for Costa Rica, but you could use any salsa that you have. And then some tomatoes that we have. And any tomato would work, or no tomato. And this is some pasta that I had cooked ahead. And it's that colored curly pasta that you usually use on a pasta salad. Why not use pasta just for color and texture difference? Plus to switch up your grains. So we'll add some of the black bean mixture that we had, and then some of the lentil mixture. The bowl today I tried to combine as many colors and textures just so that we have some variety in this bowl, but then use the ingredients later. I just wanted to illustrate the flexibility that you could have in putting together meals and to leave behind the correctness or the rightness. And you could build the bowl in any shape or style you want. I'm just kind of building the bowl around as we go. That way you've got textures and flavors all the way around the bowl. You could add greens to this bowl too if you had some. We'll add some coleslaw that we made earlier, and then some of the tomatoes on top, and then some of the sour cream. And you could make the sour cream thicker if you wanted to, just by adding more of the rice flour. But I wanted it to kind of spread across the bowl. And then some cilantro leaves on top, and you've got a nice bowl. One that you could cascade down into other dishes on other days, whether it's hot or cold. It makes a really nice bowl. Enjoy!
So as you enjoy the last bit of your meal, don't forget to move in nature or practice flowing in on your mat whenever you want to find flow and ease in your life.